So what we're doing is we're just discussing non-duality, which is actually impossible, because non-duality is pointing to something that's completely unknowable and unspeakable, illogical, unbelievable. But basically what's being uncovered here is there's an experience of seeking, which is the experience of something missing. That's the motivation for seeking, is the experience that there's something missing. And that experience of something missing comes from the experience of being separate. Separate meaning that I'm here and everything else is out there. That experience is the experience of having to protect what's in here and having to find why it feels incomplete. That's the story of me. And the story of me is trying to repeat positive experiences, those which make us feel like there's nothing missing, and avoid negative experiences. And as most of you will probably have recognized, that is an exercise in complete failure, that it never works. That you can find a positive experience, but it doesn't last, and you can't avoid the negative experiences. There's just no way to do it. But that's basically the experience of me, the story of me. And what's being suggested here is that that is a misunderstanding. That's an illusion. Not just a little bit of an illusion, but a complete illusion. And that the reality behind that, or underneath that, is that everything is already exactly what's looked for. This is perfection. This is unconditional love. And what we can do is we can discuss that and talk about that. There's really nothing here to say to anyone or tell anybody about anything. There's no message. There's no solution to the problem of being a separate person. It's a hopeless situation of seeking something that can never be found. But somehow, being confronted or discussing that contraction of being a separate individual, or the experience of being separate, can loosen. It seems that this, knowing is the wrong word, but I don't know how else to say it, but it seems like what's being pointed to with the term non-dual is already known. It's already recognized. It's already obvious. But the experience of being a separate individual covers it up. It's an incredibly thin layer. It's an incredibly thin veil that keeps the reality of what this really is covered. And by discussing that thin veil, that contraction can loosen up. And what's real, what's behind it, is sometimes felt, or felt is the wrong word, but sensed. And that's what we can do here. So feel free to ask questions or not, or run away, or stay. Feel free to do whatever you do.
I have a theoretical question. You have been talking about love. I heard that word being uttered. And with what you suggest, you could think that you become indifferent if there is no one. You're not there, I'm not there, so everything is indifferent.
Yeah.
How does love tie into that?
Yeah.
Because that's the opposite of being indifferent.
What this is absolutely beyond the conception of what me can do. It has nothing to do with what me thinks it'll be like. It calls it nihilistic. It expects some sort of enlightened, amazing thing because it feels incomplete. If something's wrong, it feels like something really amazing's got to happen so that it can be complete. It imagines things like Buddha and Jesus and other things up there that are completely out of reach of the normal individual, because that's what has to be happened to complete or fulfill that feeling that's what's missing. It'll think anything. It does all sorts of things. But it has no idea.
There's no path.
No. Because it's already